This week, I watched, listened to another great talk on TED.com. And this time, landscape ecologist Eric Sanderson was deconstructing New York City and recreating it circa 1609. This year is the 400th anniversary of when Hudson first discovered that place. And so they're doing a project as a city in New York, and Eric Sanderson is the lead on this particular project. He recreated Manhattan Island circa 1609 with its original ecosystem, its original hydrology, geology, everything as best as they could guess it would have been. Using an old map and reams of data, the website says, he re-envisioned block by block the ecology of Manhattan, and rediscovered in the process a wonderfully complex and beautiful lost world. This resilient and interdependent bio-network made up of beaches and wooded heights and meadows and streams and wetlands, where Times Square is now was once a wetland. It was a place where wildlife flourished. There were bears, beavers, timber snakes, fish, frogs, birds, bees, all of nature was there, and a few Native Americans as well. And the whole system, as he studied it, worked wonderfully together as one. He shows in one of his presentations this, which is entitled or called a Muir web. Scottish naturalist John Muir is who it's named after, and what John Muir did when he developed this way of seeing an ecosystem is he took everything that makes up a part of that ecosystem, so everywhere there's a dot on that piece of paper, and put the dot there, and then he drew lines connecting that dot to other dots within the ecosystem. So it shows the interdependence of a habitat, how things relate to one another, and to our end this morning, very much how much they need each other. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate the water from water." So God made the expanse and separated the water and under the expanse from the water above it, and it was so. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. And then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky." And there were. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth and across the expanse of the sky." And it was so. And then God said and saw that everything was good. And God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the waters of the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And then God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. God made a world, a natural world, that was totally interdependent. All of it needing all of it in order to be whole and complete, and to be all that He designed and meant for it to be. God made his world interdependent within itself and also between itself and God, who made and holds everything. In the story I was just reading in Genesis, God went on to make human beings interdependent as well. Male and female, he made them to interdepend on each other, to depend together on God, who made them and holds them. This week, I was reading portions of a book called Better Together by Robert Putnam and Louis Feldstein, and it's all about community development, and somebody who does community development gave it to me and said, read this chapter and this chapter. And the vision in community development is to restore community back to the world so that the world can be what the world is supposed to be or can be. And central to the process in Putnam's book is an idea called social capital. And this is his definition. Social capital is made up of networks of relationships that weave individuals into groups and communities. And then later on he says, they include norms of reciprocity, mutual assistance, and trustworthiness. And the moment I read those words, I thought if we were to map what those networks of relationships would look like, they'd look like this. What God has woven into nature's ecosystems, he's also evidently woven into our social systems. And if your brain is clicking already, you could probably also say that God's woven interdependence into our body systems. And if you've studied physics, you could say that there's some kind of interdependence woven into our physical universe as well. Into everything. And the systems in all those places work together. They work best when they work interdependently, within themselves and in relationship to other selves. We are a better church at New Hope when we work in that kind of interdependent community way, like we're a physical body. And you're one part, and I'm one part, and we all are different parts that make up the whole. This is a better world when we live into our interdependence. And we grow and really understand that God made us to be this way. Made us to grow and recognize our social capital.